We are looking at how to design another type of naming ceremony invitation. This time we are using the default size of pixel. So if your screen is not normal, just press on the default button to refresh your page. Delete the new text, add your photo from gallery. We will select this picture, then we accept it. Then let's add a border around the picture by tapping on the polygon in the middle. Then you look for stroke. You press on stroke, you enable it, you select the color you want to use for your stroke, then you increase the stroke to see your color. If you are interested in a different color, you press on the plus button, but I think I'm okay. Then I press to accept it. You can resize your photo a little so that we will put another picture there. Now look at something here. I want to rotate the picture diagonally, so there is an icon or a feature just below the left corner of the baby. You tap and hold it, then you drag it. You try to move your hand in a circular form. So I will leave it this way. Then this is okay. Good. So I will add another picture of the parents. So I will tap on the parents. Then here I will make it in a circular form. So I will tap on the circle. If you want to make it a perfect cycle, you tap on the ratio. That's the 1 by 1, and I think it's good. Then I will accept it by pressing on the correct sign. Resize it a little and then pull it into the drawing area. You can position it the way you want it. Put a stroke on it, on the parents as well. Then I'll look for a color for the stroke. You increase the stroke. You can use a different color if you want. Then you accept it. We are going to add some text. So you will tap on the letter A at the menu that is below. Press on plus, or you go to the top plus part and add your text. Reposition the text and double click to edit. I will type name, then I'll say OK. Remember, I told you design is about being creative and making your work looking unique. So I will copy and paste, drag and edit. I'll make this ceremony capital. OK. I will position it, copy and paste. Then I will delete, edit it and write invitation. So let me put it in capital letters, all in capital letters, and I say OK. This should also be in capital letters. Good. So now it's time for us to do some resizes. I can reduce my name a little, naming a little, then make this a little bolder, resize this, or you can go to the letter A down part, you will see size, then you will increase it to 30, then you do the same to the name so that your measurement will be accurate. Then I'm going to change the ceremony, the font of the ceremony to something bolder. Good. I will change the color. I will look for color and change it to yellow. I want it to be a yellow color, so I'll scroll for yellow. Now this is good, so I think this yellow is okay. Now I will add another text and then type the name of the parents. So I will say okay. So I will drag it here. I will make it resize it bold. You can change the font. If you are not okay with the font, you change it to something attractive, then you say okay. Let me do something here, then I'll say okay. I'll drag it up and then center it. Good. I'll center it. Then I will add another text and resize it a little. You just press undo if you mess up like I have done, then everything will come back to normal for you to continue. So I'll move it, and then you should be very accurate in your design. You should make sure that your design is centered in a particular way. And then I'll add another text. And I'll write naming in capital letters, ceremony. Then I'll say okay. Then I'll drag it here. I'll change the font, get a font that will make it bolder a little. Then you say okay. Then you change the color to yellow. Change the color to yellow. Searching for yellow color. Thing is here. Then I say okay. Then I will add invite you to the naming ceremony of their baby. Drag it down, resize, and then you are good to go. Now we are left with venue. You add the venue. I'm just pushing it so that I'll get some space for the venue. So I'll write the venue by adding another text, edit it, I'll resize it, then I'll center the text. Good. So I'll put a text with venue, in capital letters or small letters if you are okay. Drag it down, add a background color to it, let it look somehow attractive. Make it a yellow background. Make it a yellow background. Say okay. I'm going to rotate it vertical, so I'll hold the down part, an icon like a semicircle, and rotate it this way vertical, and then I'll drag it a little by the venue. Good. Now I will add the date. So I'm going to design, let's add the date. So I'll center it as well. Then I say okay. I'll resize it a little. If you are resizing it and it is messing up, just say undo and you are okay. Now I want to put it in a circle, but before that let me change the font. I'll change the font, make it a little bolder, get a font that will make it bolder. I like this font. So now I'm going to create a circle and put the text, the date on the circle. So look at how we do it. Go to the middle polygon icon where you can pick your shape, and then you select shape, you press on the shape selector, then you press on circle, then you accept it. Just press the correct sign, you accept it, resize it, and make sure that your date fits in very well. Now you see that it is covering the date, so I will put it, and before you see it very well, let's color our circle. Go and look for a color icon, you color it. I think this time let's use a color that we can find within the images. So we use the color of the couples. So let's add a color. Let's use the color selector, pick the image of the couple, then you press any color that you think you want to use within them. So you accept it by clicking on the correct sign above, then you say okay, then it will pick the color for you. Now you say okay by pressing on the okay button. So let's go scroll back and then press to back. We want to send the circle behind the text, so you say to back. You get it? So you add a stroke and still resize your circle to the shape to match by pressing on the text very well. Then you enable it, increase the stroke a little, then you say okay by pressing on the correct side, and your stroke is done. Now let's add a background to our design. Let's go and tap on our background icon, the two squares on each other, then you press on color, then we are going to use the gradient color. You tap on plus so that we can design our own gradient. So let's tap on the color selector on your right hand side where you have the horizontal line just below the color panel. Then you will press on the color icon on your right hand side. Then you select blue. I think it's okay. Then you say okay. Then you tap on your right hand side again to select a different color. Then you say okay. Now you see that I don't want it this way. I want it to be diagonal, so I'll press on the diagonal method on top the second option, and then let's press on the third. Is it okay? Okay, so I think this is okay for me. Then I'll say okay. Good. So this is a very simple outdooring card we just designed. So let's save our work. You can save it as a project, so in the near future, if somebody wants a naming ceremony card, you don't need to go through this stress. But I want to save it as an image, so I'll press on save. Then I'll leave every settings that